Hi, everybody. I just released a blog post talking about some of the new Gen AI stuff from Google, specifically their Gemini model. And I wanted to record a quick video showing what the web side of that model looks like, or how to work with that particular Gen AI model. And I thought I would share an example and point some things out. And this all relates back to my blog post as well. So I will link to that in the description for this video. So, first off, if you have played with this before, or if you've seen my earlier blog posts or videos, you know that it was called MakerSuite. In fact, the URL still says MakerSuite, but they have renamed it to AI Studio, which is kind of boring and enterprisey, but it works. It makes sense. That being said, it's still really, really easy to use and useful. It defaults now to working with Gemini, so you can go in here and just type your prompt and start getting responses back. So, for example, why are cats the best pet? And just run it and get a response. And of course, this is all good. I don't even have to read it. But what I'm really interested in is the new image support. And you can see right here in the UI, there's a place to insert images, but you do need to switch from Gemini Pro to Gemini Pro Vision. So here's what's cool. I can actually take a picture, and I'm copying a picture from elsewhere, and I'm going to ask Gemini to say, hey, what kind of cat is this? And run it. And we should get a decent response that this is a ragdoll cat. And that is pretty much true. And you know what? Let's actually try another picture because you may find this shocking. I have a lot of pictures of cats, my own, others, etc. I am going to find this one. I like this one a lot. All right, so we're going to get rid of that picture and just paste this in and run it again. And we should see, hopefully, something a bit different because that's not a ragdoll. That is a calico. And I've had somebody tell me it was a horseshoe cat or something different. I don't know. It's closer in terms of the result. Now, I haven't pushed this heavy. Like I've only been playing with this today. However, let's try to break it and see what happens. So uh, this is a picture from the Lego set I'm working on now, the Lego Lighthouse. And I didn't know, but it came with a little tiny, cute little cat. So I took a picture of it. But I'm curious to see what it's going to think about this because it's a cat, but it's a toy and it's kind of small. But you can't really tell. This, wow, this is not a cat. This is a minus sign. That is really, really interesting. That's not what I expected. I thought it would tell me it's a cat, but it couldn't detect the type of cat. Um, but still, that is unique. I will do one more test in here. Let's see. I know. I'm gonna share a picture of some food. My wife and I went out to eat a couple nights ago, and had this wonderful hanger steak. And let's see what it says about this. Hopefully, it'll say it's a plate of food. Yeah, there you go. It stinks. So that's pretty cool. And this is something that I've talked about. What I like is that it's very, very quick to work on your prompts here before you go to code. So I can do something like this, answer in JSON. And if it is not a type of cat, return a blank string. So let's see how this works. And we'll go back to trying with a cat as well once we see how this does. Type beef. Well, it did not do it exactly. Let's add a space in here because you never know. I love playing with this. And again, I love how quick this is to experiment with. Type of beef. So let's do this. Determine the type of cat in this picture. If it is not a cat, return nothing. Answer in JSON. Let's see if that does any better because I really want essentially a blank string if it's not a cat. And type beef. Well, I could probably keep working on this, tweaking it, and just see if I can get it to return nothing. But again, what I dig about this is I can iterate and work. Now, like I've shown before, you can get the code. One thing I want to point out, I was testing this like 2 hours ago, and the JavaScript code would not work. And that's because I had a cached version of Maker Suite in here. It was still running Gemini, but even with that, the code was a bit off. So do a shift reload. I have an extension that I use called Clear Cache that will really kind of nuke the cache. But the code, again, is pretty simple. It's a bit different from the code that was previously output, but it is, 68 lines. And what I like here, this is the part I want to focus on, the parts. It's really easy to see the text prompt and how they worked with the image attachment. It's pretty trivial to take this and then put it in code. And in fact, I've done that over here. And this is essentially the code where all I did was drop in a real key, or in this case, a environment variable, and point to an image on my desktop. And I've already run it, and you see it gets a calico cat. And if I wanted to work with JSON, then I could just modify the text there. Again, I kind of like instead working here because it's a bit quicker. And then once I get my prompt right, then copy and paste that to code. So anyway, very cool update. And again, this is like a day or two old. So it's brand spanking new. Really easy to work with. I have some ideas for a couple of different apps that I want to build with this that I hope to share with y'all later. Let me know if you have any questions about this in the comments. Thank you.